Yo, YouTube, I just finished a really good workout. You know me, kettlebells, full body. Well, mainly upper body, but you do full body. Regardless, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I start that, I almost hit somebody. Well, I didn't almost hit her. I looked back. So before I jump into the story, there was a comment on my Instagram. This kid was like, I was like, technical analysis doesn't perform well. And he messaged under my shit, BS, right? And I was like, okay, name me one person that trades technical analysis and is profitable. He said ICT. And I chuckled. That was a really good laugh. And I told him, okay, the guy that fakes withdrawals, I have records of shit, just in case I have to come at somebody one day. This fuckface, why would you do that? And then he said, you're just some old man Forex guru trying to make money off of selling courses. Is like, hey, little idiot, I've been doing this shit for damn near 10 years, full fucking time, and consistently pulling money out of the market for the last 10 fucking years. And then he came back and I told him, you know what, just keep ICTs, you know what, in your mouth and write it maybe. But I wanted to laugh about that. I thought you guys would find that funny because it's like, yo, I don't go to anyone's social media pages attacking them for their shit, but you know, people come at me. And if you come at me, I want you to understand this. Ooh, look at that sunlight, my bad. You come at me, I'm coming back because I've been through real life shit. That is nothing that an idiot on social media can say to me that's gonna fuck me up, right? And I'm gonna talk about one of the things that I went through when I was younger. Ready, here we go. This is part of how I become this Andre. So around 4 or 5, and I'm not gonna say names or any situations like that. Super, super crazy experience. Oh, dismiss. So I don't know how to say this without protecting the names. I just don't say the names. So essentially, as a child, I was put in a living situation where literally living with a fucking murderer. And this person was trying to murder someone in my family. And I wonder if you could say that on YouTube. This person was trying to unalive somebody in my family. There we go, politically correct. And it quickly became apparent that person was hard to unalive. And one moment, I was abandoned. Like, no joke, 5 years old, abandoned. And this person figured they would unalive me to get to the person they were really trying to unalive because that would probably hurt them the most. So this person, again, I am 5 years old, tail wagging, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Andre. It was hard to get back to this version of me. So this person just starts choking me, right? Throws me on the bed. And if you've ever been around or seen someone who is purely off their rocker, a psychotic person, it's the eyes. The eyes tell the truth and everything else lies. Jay-Z said that. It's so true. You can tell someone's psychotic or off or struggling by the eyes. And you know the look when you see the look. So, you know, you see the look, and it's like, oh shit, I'm gone, right? Like, damn, I'm only fucking 5. Like, why I gotta go, right? So he's choking me 2 hands and then throws me on the bed. And this is how I knew I'm kind of crazy. Something snapped in me. And here I am, 5-year-old Andre, fighting a grown-ass, convicted fucking murderer. And I fucking got out of it. I got out of it and I ran out to my family. And I seen some crazier shit, but that's for another video. I can't say that crazier, but I've seen some other crazy shit that no 5-year-old should have ever seen. So long story short, make it out, run to my family, and part of my family leaves to California and I'm stuck in Chicago. So one day I'm at school, and I went to Catholic school getting beat with rulers and shit. And this guy pulls up to my school. He's like, hey, so-and-so said you should come with me. And I'm like, I have a really good bullshit meter. I know it's bullshit. And I'm not coming. This person is sitting here trying to convince me, Andre, come on, they're waiting for you. It's like, no, they're not. They're fucking here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? So my granddad AJ, love him to pieces. That's this guy. He is my angel. Granddad AJ pulled up just in time, saved me from it. And for whatever reason, this is the one thing about some fucking people that are off in the head, men specifically, they are scared of real men because this same man is scared of my uncle. So Granddad AJ pulls up like a savior in the station wagon, the Buick station wagon. Man, my granddad was a G. and, gets me, and then we go home. Granddad AJ pulls up and saves me. He saves the day. Granddad AJ always saves the day, man. That man fed the homeless for years up until he passed, man. Him and Granny were fucking amazing. So anyway, then it became apparent that, I probably should go to California, because if not, might not make it to 6. And let me say, I'm able to laugh about this because I've healed from it on the energetic level. Like I've literally healed from it. So now I know the lessons. I know the lessons from almost being unalive. And it's weird to say that, right? Because I always understood from a child that no matter what I've been through, someone's been through worse, and someone is going through worse, and there will always be worse. And that always kept me level-headed. But anywho, that triggered anxiety, especially moving to California, having no friends, made friends, right? But having no friends, having no family, my cousins, my grandparents, everyone back home in Chicago. And I remember there was this guy who looked just like the dude who tried to unalive me, like just like him, bald head, beard, whole nine. And I'm like, how the hell did this fool find me, right? Just like freaky tail shit. So every time I would see this dude, I would, and I didn't know what it was. I would get anxious and panic. And then one day, I had to have been about 8 because I turned 9 in the summer. And this guy, turns out he lived in the same apartment complex as me. So I'm walking home from school and he's walking behind me and I start running. Like, I'm pretty sure this dude was like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? He sees me, he panics, he sees me, he runs. And then one day I turned around and he worked in the lunchroom and I was like, yeah, I ain't eating this food. It's fucking poison. So I turn around and I remember where we were. There's this area of warehouses. And there's this one specific warehouse, a little section of road that's dirt. And I'm running through the dirt and I was like, no more. And I looked at him and I turned around and said, I'm not fucking scared of you anymore. From that moment, literally, I felt the energy of anxiety leave my body. The energy of depression somewhat left, because I still dealt with little bits of that until, I figured that out on my own too. But, dealing with that as a child, I learned really, really quickly that a lot of the things that you go through, they're not your fault, but we tend to make them our fault. Or we tend to blame other people because as a child, sometimes you're put in situations that are uncontrollable to and for you, right? I'm not gonna go there. So a lot of it is not your fault, but it does cause the energy of, why does this happen to me? My self-worth, just like a whole lot of it. So I tell you that part of my life to tell you that no matter what you go through, if you make it out alive, there's a lesson to learn from it. And the lesson is typically valuable. I learned that day that I'm a little crazy, and that if anything ever happens, there's a switch that's in me, and I'm gonna fight. This is why stupid ass comments on the internet, that shit don't bug me. I laugh about them. Me and my wife laugh about them, actually. And then I'm gonna come back at you. I'm gonna try to hurt your fucking feelings. That's who I am. You've heard me say plenty of times, I don't turn the other cheek. It's not my style. I'll turn your cheek, hitting you, but violence is not always the answer. So I tell you that story because it shaped me and made me who I am. I've seen some of the things that this person's done, and I remember the choice that I made to never, ever be that kind of person. Never be the kind of person that intentionally hurts people. And again, maybe this person had a mental issue. For me, it's no excuse, right? There's a very, very thin line between something that's right and something that's wrong, especially energetically. And I do my best to do right. This is why I do right by people. This is why I do my best to not hurt anybody. But if you push me to that point, it comes out. And I don't want it to come out on people. It's come out on people before. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, what other lessons that I learned from almost being unalived at 5? I learned that life is precious. Anything can happen at any moment. And some of it's not in your control. So another part, what's ironic is the street that I'm driving on is when all of this actually resurfaced to me in my late 30s. That energy resurfaced, those memories resurfaced, and it made me a nervous, anxious wreck. Ironic, I'm driving down the same street in the same spot. It's fucking weird. And I never told my dad this story about, well, he knew about granddad, but I never told my dad the full scope of the situation. And then that night I had to call my dad and I told him everything. And he told me some of his shit that he went through in his life. And it helped tremendously. But I've never been in therapy. I've done energetic therapy, theta healing. Theta healing is what helped me truly get it off my energy field and learn that the world is not as bad as it's portrayed. There is some crappy shit in this world, right? There's no need to sugarcoat. But for the most part, most of us are blessed. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I learned from almost being unalived? I'm an overprotective father because of it, and I would have it any other way. And I speak up for the people who need to speak up. This is why guys in the trading industry that push lifestyle content that I know for a fact can't trade, because they fucking DM me and ask me for help. They DM me and ask me for signals to feed their signal groups. Like, no joke, this shit really happens. I fight for the people who get scammed by those guys. That's what I do it for. Because again, I used to get scammed left and right. Told Chris Laurie, right? And then my own independent research. Okay, I think that's the scope of this video. Like it, subscribe. But again, the point of me telling you my story so you understand why I am who I am and how you can become who you need to. See a meth head, weird, like, man. But anyway, so you can heal from what you need to heal from and become who you should and know you should become, because there's so many things out there that can help you deal with trauma. Theta healing, I have so much experience with that. Shout out to Megan. Biomagnetic therapy is another godsend. All of this is godsend, especially to me, because it's healing. It is such a blessing. Protect yourself and protect your mind and learn from my trauma, right? Learn from your trauma. And in some instances, because there's instances where it can't, your trauma is there to teach you a lesson, but some of it's not. Some of it's malicious, right? There's two sides to a coin. And if it's malicious, get help. Talk about it. Heal, right? That's the way it is. So I'm pulling up to my coffee shop. I am going to get me a mocha, and I'm going to get my wife a latte with an extra shot. And on that note, do me a favor, just like the video, share it out, help someone. If it helps someone, you know it can help someone, share it for them. Again, my goal is not to be some influencer. My goal is to be of assistance and tell my story in hopes that it helps you who are on the other end or going through something similar to find yourself, to fix yourselves, to heal. All right, guys, parking at my favorite coffee spot. I will chat with you all next video. Cheers.